Bella. We will now go to the midfielders. Rafil Wejani, who's also a vice captain. Mamelo Makabani. Karabo Dlamini. Leandra Smida. Kolosa Biyana. Busisiwe Ndemeni. Sibulele Oweni, who got a first cap against the US. And Linda Mutlalo. Now we go to the strikers. Rhoda Mulaudzi, Tembi Khatlana, Jermaine Sioposenwe, Amanda Mtandi, and Odi Fulutudilu. Our support team is Emma Hendricks, who's the head of delegation, myself obviously, Tina Sonkembuli, who's the assistant coach and my right-hand woman, Rida Berdin is the fitness trainer, Shalene Boyson is the performance analyst, and some of us would call her a video analyst. Lauren Duncan, the one and only over there, the team manager. Our doctor, Sekhofatso Khaesewe. Our head physiotherapist, Ma11 Setunsa. Another physiotherapist, the second one, Kabelo Ramaboya. We have also a team, a monsieur, who's Lizzie Mohodisa. And the one and only Aleta Ngidi is our kit manager. We have the media officer manager Matlamola Morake, and our team security officer Franz Amalaji.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Coach. There's your full team. Just quickly once again, goalkeepers Lamene Swart Mpuru, defenders Van Veek, Matlo Vilagazi, Ramalepe, Mbani, Kamete, Makubela, and midfielders Meda, Jane, Makabani, Biyana, Lameni, Holweni, Mutlalo, Ndimeni, and the forwards, Katlana, Mulaudzi, Soposengwe, Mtandi, and Fulutudilu. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media. This is the opportunity to ask questions if you have any. If the coach has answered you in her opening statement, don't feel obliged to ask a question. But if you do, this is your chance. We've got microphones on either side of the room. I see a hand, yes, sir? I see a hand here. If you can just say who you are, sir, and who your question is directed to, where you're from as well.
Lebutube, SABC News. My coach is directed to the coach.
Which coach is it?
Coach, the most noticeable omission is that of Mpumi Nyandeni. She's been part of Banyana Banyana since 2002, 17 years experience, 149 caps, and you've been with the player. I mean, I think she's never been omitted from the squad in as many years, and recently, I mean, you've kept her. She's been part of the squad to date, well, since until the USA match. Maybe your explanations for leaving her out, and who did you then replace her with?
I obviously said earlier that some players are going to be disappointed in not making the squad. I also mentioned that some players were identified late, and we've given players an opportunity to raise their hands, and some have raised their hands more than others. But I would prefer that you ask questions about the players that are currently in the squad. Thank you.
Where's the microphone? Let's start here.
Minette Lashela from Newsroom Africa. Just three quick ones for me, Coach. Just clarification.
Can you take one at a time, sir?
Okay. Just a clarification. I thought there would be 2 warm-up matches. Now there's only one. Was it always one?
It was always one, sir.
Just, do you think that's enough, Coach? Concerns about that? You know, just the girls touching down there and just having one run out with another nation?
Let's take this one, Coach.
Well, we've looked at things. We've had a lot of preparation leading up to that. You also have a lot of other things that you need to work on. There's a lot of rule changes as well with regards to free kicks and everything else, and you want to make sure. We've played it only in 2 games against Jamaica and the US, and we need to make sure of that in the games itself. We also want to give ourselves time to work on other aspects, finishing, etc. Getting combinations, small little games, getting combinations right. And if you have too many games, you don't have time to do that. And we decided that with the Norway game and with the preparation that we had, it will be enough.
Coach, maybe just to, I'm here, just to follow up on that one and what you were just saying now. I don't think maybe in the friendlies that you've played, the couple of games that you played, you would have been too worried about the results. What were you looking to get from those games, and did you achieve what you wanted to achieve?
I wouldn't say that you're not worried about results. Results are always important. It gives you a lot more confidence, but we also look for improved performances. In the Netherlands game, we conceded very early. That's been a challenge. In the Sweden game, we did not. We've created a lot of opportunities, but didn't score many. In the Jamaica game, it was a winnable game. We hit the post, we missed a penalty, and it was a game that we could have won. But we've always spoken about improved performances, and we rotated the ball much quicker. We played at a high intensity. We always knew the game against the USA was going to be a tough one. And you've just recently seen that they've beaten New Zealand 5-0. But we knew that we needed to be on top of our game the first 30 minutes and not to concede early. And we were on top of our game. We had 1 or 2 half chances, and Sibulele could have scored a fantastic goal from the halfway line if it had been on target. But we were very happy with the performance. Every time when you play, you first look for the result and then for improved performance, and so far we've seen improved performances, and that's the most important for us as well, to see improved performances. We obviously didn't have the likes of Tembi, Linda and Leandra, which would have added a little bit more in attack, but we had to make do with the players, and it gives opportunity to others also to raise their hands, because you never know what can happen in the World Cup, and you might need the players that are in your squad when players are not on form, or when they get injured, or you want to change things. But each and every game we've played, there's been improved performances. Results not, but improved performances.
Yeah. Mbali Shopper from KFM. Coach, a very emotional speech you gave there just before announcing the team. Surely it was a very difficult task to pick the team. At the very same time, a couple of new faces, and surely they bring something that many of us don't know about. What is it to these players that you've picked that are new to the setup? What do they bring? And what are you really hoping? Because some of them just don't have the experience that some of the players that you left out.
You're right. It was an agonizing decision. I haven't slept for days. Wanted to make sure that I get the mix right. Wanted to also think of the future. But if you watched the game on Sunday, you saw the quality of Sibulele. She doesn't only play in that position. We've played her at left fullback, and she's been magnificent. When we called her in and said she was going to start, she said, "I'm ready." You know, she didn't show any nerves. We had some of the senior players encouraging her, obviously, because it was her first cap, and she will remember that for the rest of her life. We have Bongeka coming in as a backup in the defense. Koketso, who was with us in Cyprus, unfortunately had an injury and had an operation. She was identified at the Sasol National Championships. I was also fortunate enough to see her at the selection trials for USA when I had the opportunity. And then we all know the quality that Karabo brings. She played against the Netherlands. And sometimes you need that little bit of energy through the young players. Sometimes you need that players who have no fear. You know, you need that, and you need that sometimes in the game. And during training matches, they've showed their quality for us all to see. And, you know, you've got to give opportunities to players who raise their hands. I've said that all along, and I have to be true to my word. I've also said that the door is never closed. And Sibulele only came in for the camp against Jamaica, but she immediately showed her quality.
Let's stick with that side. We'll come back to you.
I'm Shonim Timkulu from ENCA. There's no one from SAFA here, so I'm not sure who to address this to, but we know on Wednesday the president said that all the bonuses and all that sort of situation had been sorted out or had been spoken about. But I want to ask this because at the AWC World Cup squad announcement, we know that there was a big announcement about bonuses for the players. So I suppose this is then directed to Cecil. But in terms of match fees specifically, and also a bonus at the end, is there something along those lines for the ladies?
Ma'am, because the SAFA officials, you remember the president was the one who spoke about that. Because our principals are not here, I would rather we leave that for the next time. We're going to have, as the manager said, be at Sasol Place. All our officials will be there, so we can reserve that question for that day, if it's okay with you. Thank you. Let's go that side.
Des, as you said, it's a tough decision for you to make, but the squad will be picked apart.
Who are you, ma'am?
I am Cass from G Sport. Everyone will pick the squad apart, but I think if you look at the big picture, Banyana Banyana at a FIFA Women's World Cup means the world to women's sport in South Africa. So not only are you flying the flag for football, you're flying the flag for everybody. Personally for you, what does it mean to take a squad to your first ever Women's World Cup?
Kaz, it's never ever been about me alone. It's always been about the team as a whole, because we cannot do without each other. You know, yes, I make the final selection, I make the final announcement, my decision, but I have a technical team, I have a support staff, and obviously the players. And without them, we wouldn't be here. So for us, it's a collective. You know, we cannot do it. And I think for everyone, not just the group that's going, but for the whole of South Africa, it's a historic moment. I think back to our tumble, and we didn't even win AFCON. The whole country, you know, the president always says somebody comes to the stadium, they might have a lot of problems at home. When the team does well, they go home and they say, we won. And for that moment, they are very happy. And that is all we want to do, is to make people happy. And the fans have been magnificent. I mean, remember, we challenged Durban. And I'll honestly say that that was the most fans I've ever been involved in a game with Banyana. So they have been magnificent. So it's for everyone. It's for the coaches out there that have come before. Not forgetting Joseph Mkonza. He qualified the team for the first major tournament, which was the 2012 Olympics. You had Vera 2016. You have Cecily coaches who prepare players. You have players that have come before in the national team. You have current Cecily players. I think everybody needs a pat on the shoulder. On the back. Everybody needs a pat, because they all played a part, including Cecil with a fantastic preparation, and Safa and the coaches, you know, Coach Malifi, Coach Stewart, Tabub, Shorty and Morden, all of them, for the support. Fran, Neil, Franz, for the support. You can go into their office anytime and have a chat. So it's not just about me, it's about a whole collective group.
Microphone?
So I just then want to follow up, when will we have people from SAFA, if they're leaving next week, Thursday? That's the first thing. But the other thing is, Coach Desiree, in terms of your goalkeeper decision, obviously you had Kaylin and Andile, but that third goalkeeper position has been, since Roxanne's retirement, how did you come to that decision? And also, have you spoken to Mpumi yet, just in terms of the decision?
Before Coach answers, Tony, we have a send-off celebration with our sponsor Sasol on Thursday at 9 o'clock at Sasol Place. So our officials will be present.
We brought in the 2 under-20 goalkeepers, first Jessica and then Mapaseka, and both were given an opportunity. And Mapaseka has showed a quality. She's definitely matured as an individual. She's been part of Banyana before. She's definitely matured as an individual, and really pushing the other two. And as we said, we also look to leaving a legacy. I have not spoken to Mpumi yet. We arrived on Wednesday. Decision was made to have the team announcement, but I definitely will. We've had chats before. I definitely will have a chat with her. It would have been better if we could do it beforehand, but the turnaround wasn't possible. But I definitely will do that. Thank you.
Linda Maruzene from the Sowetan. Coach, when I look at your group mates, I think that, I don't know, I stand to be corrected, they all play totally different kinds of football, the kind of styles that they show. So how did that feature in the composition of your team? How did you go about selecting the types of players that you have to sort of anticipate the different oppositions that you have? Thank you.
We have some speed. We know a lot of the teams in Europe are afraid of that. We have some strong players up front that we can use. We have players that from the back that are good with the ball at their feet. We have players like Noko when it comes to the physical battle. She's there and she can play. In our midfield we have a mix. We have a lot of ball players, but we also have someone like Leandra, someone like Olosa, that can bite the bullet when it needs be. On the wings we have a bit of speed as well. So we have a mixture. And the beauty of this group is that we can change formations with the personnel on the pitch. And if we don't have the personnel on the pitch, we can bring on players. And that is what we looked at. We looked at all scenarios. We looked at all formations that we play, how the players fit into it, to make sure that we get the right mix. We've played different teams over the past couple of months to prepare us for every eventuality.
Any more questions? Okay. Yes, sir.
Coach Michael Pedro from EWN Sport. Obviously this is the first World Cup that you're going to, but there's a lot of experience within the squad on the continent in terms of African competition. How do you translate that experience into doing well at the World Cup, obviously playing against opponents that you might not have faced in the past?
Well, we've played China before in 2016. They have a new coach. Germany has a new coach as well. She coached Switzerland, who lost out to the Netherlands in the qualification for the World Cup. Some of our players have international experience playing at the Olympics. Some have back-to-back Olympics. As I said, some have experience of playing at under 17 World Cups, and that experience that's not something you can buy, playing at a World Cup. But we also have the young ones to add that extra. I think when you look back at our AFCON, it was a real drive by the whole group. And that is important, especially when players like Janine comes in, the real driving force, Lefriwe Jani, the real driving force, Noko, the real driving force. So those are the ones, like I said, when Sibelelu made a debut, those were the ones that went to speak to her and said to her, here's your opportunity. We all know what's at stake. It's a World Cup, but we also know, we're under no illusions. It's a difficult group. But we'll take it game by game. If you look any further, you lose focus. We'll take it with the first game. And obviously, we need to start really well because it will set the tone for the rest of the tournament. And then we'll worry about the rest of the games.
All right, that's Banyana Banyana's coach, Desiree Ellis, having just announced the World Cup squad for that critical match or season that's happening in June. We're going to leave it there. From the On Point team, we say goodbye. And, of course, at the top of the hour, SA Today. Do take care.